Hey, what's going on, y'all? Click on my comment to go back and see the post I'm responding to, although I will be making references to another video that my man Julian made, but that's all right. They both kind of hit on the same thing, and the solution that I have is the same for both. So, here we go. Oh, and big shout to this melanated queen right here, because I'm going to be talking about some specific Japanese things, and if you want a very good explanation of these things, her channel, next episode please on YouTube, that video will absolutely explain them for y'all. So here we go. So my man Julian's basically saying that we need to bring back the ecchi. We need to bring back that saucy sauce. And for me, that's cool, but really it's the same thing that I mentioned in the video I did the other day talking about Bungie and Marathon. You need to make your shit to your audience. And anime has been doing this since the beginning. Like I said, anime's been doing this since the beginning. A lot of the times we confuse the demographics for genres, and that's not the case, right? So you have Kodomo Muke or Kodomo anime. You got shit like Doraemon, Crayon Shinchan, and one of my personal favorites, Cheese Sweet Home, because I'm kind of a cat guy. See, those type of anime are geared towards younger audiences. They have brighter colors, simpler plots, and they kind of teach you little lessons along the way, you know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of that genre. Again, a lot of times if you don't have kids, you're probably not gonna watch this, you know what I'm saying? Or unless you're like me or one of, my fellow otaku, you just watch everything and you just enjoy those things. Because also, just like our children kind of cartoons here in the West, they also hide some very kind of adult jokes that goes over kids' heads. All I'm gonna tell y'all is look up the elephant dance from Crayon Shinchan, okay? Next, you probably have the most well-known demographic in anime, not a genre, shonen. Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and shout out to my homegirl Mystique, Shaman King. Again, that's that teenage boy, teenage girl. Well, specifically, it's kind of geared towards teenage boys, but there's a lot of females who love fucking shonen too. But you get the concept, right? You see that the plots and the ideas in those are geared towards an older audience. Not necessarily those young kids looking at Crayon Shinchan do the elephant dance, but they're still older younger teen kids, right? And then you have its counterpart, shoujo. Cardcaptor Sakura. Shout out to my man Spectre. One of my faves, Princess Tutu. Old schools will know this, Fushigi Yugi. Gravitation. Boys Over Flowers. And you can see that there's a stark difference between those series for boys and those series for girls. But there is some cross-pollination because again, with Princess Tutu, Cardcaptor Sakura, there is some battle in there and it doesn't necessarily focus on the romance and that drama and that sort of thing, but it's there. Then you start getting into them older folks, like me, my man Julian, all of them, right? So we'll start with seinen. Right off the bat, my man Go-Go 13. If you ain't seen Go-Go 13, you must not be a James Bond fan. All I'm saying is watch it. But seriously though, this is a very mature, cause he be fucking. Go-Go be fucking, okay? Like, that's why I made the James Bond reference, because he be out here fucking and killing. Parasite. I love this. I love the manga. I love the show. It's a banger. But you can tell the complex plots, the level and the intensity of things, the drama and the murder and the smacks goes way up. And lastly, I'm not going to leave seinen without pointing out Berserk. And we all know Berserk is that thing. If you want to point out seinen to somebody, you point to Berserk. Because that is probably the peak kind of sort of like idealistic form of seinen. It's violent, it's dark, there's romance, there's drama, the whole bit. It's all in there and it's ratcheted up to 11. And then lastly, you got Josei, which is the counterpart to seinen for older women. Bunny Drop, Paradise Kiss, one of my favorites that's kind of a blend of shoujo and josei, but I would put it firmly, for me, in josei because of the maturity of the content. And it's got a lot of values of like that insecurity and that like growth and like, you know, fighting against like expectations of women. It's actually I really kind of like Red Garden. It's underrated from a lot of people, but it's really good. Honey and Clover. Like I said, when you look at things like Seinen and Josei specifically, you see that the bang, 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 pow, 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 fight, 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 like my man Julian say, could be there, but a lot of the times they focus on the inner dynamics and the complex processes of growing up, getting older, finding love, breaking up, all of that shit. Plus a little bit of bang, bang, pow, pow, fight, fight, fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by playing or making things to your audience. Because wait for it. In Seinen and Josei, we ain't gotta ask. There's be fucking in that. Maybe not as much on the Josei side because you know what I'm saying? Because men and women do think differently when it comes to the smexy time, right? Men like more visceral shit. It's why they watch more adult themed stuff, whereas women read a lot more adult stuff. Again, dark fantasy romance novels outsell every other genre, or I should say dark fantasy and romance, you know, that sort of thing, outsell every other genre of literature combined, okay? Women out here reading romance, putting literary books on their back, putting them on their back, big shoulders. But that's what I mean. When you play to your audience, when you give your audience what they want, you don't necessarily have to ask for that mature content because it'll be there if that is what the content requires. You see what I'm saying? Like, we joke and laugh about certain stuff, but you'll never see that crazy type of mature shit in a Kodomo anime or manga. You might get a couple of those in the animated version would have like some jokes. It's kind of like when you look at the Minions movies or Despicable Me, like there's some jokes in there that fly over kids' head, but for the most part, they're pretty safe, like for everybody. And then when it comes to the shonen and the shoujo side of things, they, for the most part, you can tell are for the teens, right? Just like when you start looking at Seinen and Josei, you know those are for more adult people. Because again, a lot of those teens they don't want the talkie. They don't want the drama. None of that. They want, like my man Julian say, the bang, 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 pow, 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 fight, fight, fight. And that's why you see a lot of that in the shonen and shoujo demographic geared manga. But I also think we need to make sure that we explain that those are not genres. Those are demographics. Anime, those big overarching things are geared towards demographics of people. They're not geared towards certain genres. Because you can have a shoujo romance as well as a josei romance. And wait for it, my man Julian will agree with this. Probably the difference is whether they fucking or not. And that's what I mean. Like, we don't necessarily have to ratchet up the maturity or ratchet up the edgy type content. What we need to do is make sure that they make anime and manga to those demographics. Because when you start talking to adults, adults can have adult conversations about sex, about drama, about romance, about breakups. Maturity allows for these type of conversations and the creation of such content. Whereas we generally do not want to have those type of conversations with younger audiences. But at the same time, not every adult wants to have the melodrama that comes with a lot of teen-based stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you look at a lot of the tokusatsu shows and stuff like that, there's a stark difference between the ones geared towards teen audiences and the ones geared towards older audiences. It's why you have the designation of certain things like Shin Godzilla and Shin Kamen Rider and those type of things, because it ratchets up the maturity and the darkness, and you know that is geared towards an older audience. Whereas you can also see, even in the different areas of Godzilla, those eras of Godzilla, some of them are geared towards kids, where Godzilla's more goofy and silly and playful. And then there's motherfucking Godzilla minus one. Best Godzilla movie, period. Hands down. And I can't wait for the sequel. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I thought. I don't necessarily think you need to ratchet up maturity. I think you need to gear your shit to the audience you want to talk to. Because when you're talking to the audience you want to talk to, you can talk about the stuff that those audiences want to talk about. Specifically, the smexy. I don't know. I'm just a normal dude who loves anime. So what do y'all think? Hit them comments and let me know. Talk to you later. Peace.